Back at 6:25 on this Tuesday morning, President Biden set to deliver his first State of the Union address later on tonight.
And joining us this morning to help break down what the president's expected to address today, political science professor from Mercyhurst, Joe Morris. Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So there's a lot going on in the U.S. and the world right now. You know, what can we expect to see at the State of the Union address tonight?
Well, the State of the Union is, I think President Biden's going to have a couple of goals. One, he's going to be speaking to a domestic audience and dealing with domestic issues. But even more importantly, this year, I think the international affairs side of the State of the Union is going to be given a great deal of attention.
How much of the president's speech tonight, when he talks about the Ukraine, do you think, Joe, is going to be aimed at America, and how much is going to be aimed at the entire world?
Well, I think he has a very large audience this evening. You know, Joe Biden once said to Vladimir Putin back in 2011, one of the first times he met him, he told him that I look into your eyes and I don't believe you have a soul. And Vladimir Putin's response was, I see we understand each other. This story that was reported back in 2014, I think is something that he's going to want to make the entire world understand tonight.
Also, a lot of other things for the president to potentially address as far as domestic issues goes. Inflation's certainly got to be right there at the top of the list.
Sure, we can't forget that we have elections coming up in just a few months, really. So Joe Biden definitely will be speaking to a domestic audience. And top of the agenda will probably be inflation, COVID. We will probably touch on global warming. And in all likelihood, we will see him talk about his Supreme Court nominee as well.
And when it comes to the Build Back Better plan, do you think we'll hear anything about that tonight?
Yes, I think that's probably going to be mentioned, although I don't think it's going to be given nearly as much attention as he originally planned. The events in Ukraine have definitely focused our attention elsewhere outside of the United States.
And so many of the things that the president's going to be talking about seem to be changing on a minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour basis, Joe. So how much of, say, maybe rough draft number one that the president might have had it from a couple of weeks ago, if anything, is left? And how much could that speech even be being tweaked as we head into tonight?
Yeah, I'm sure this is a speechwriter's nightmare. At the same time, one of the reasons they got into politics. It's exciting. It's a lot changing dramatically and quickly. So I imagine they will be putting final touches on the speech right up until the speech is given.
Joe Morris, Political Science Chair for Mercyhurst University. We certainly appreciate your time and input on this very busy Tuesday morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Erie News Now Sunrise coming back in 2 minutes.